Hello and welcome to Supercoach 2011. Yes, it might be 6 weeks to go until the season proper starts, but Supercoach is here and it's back and bigger than ever. And who better to tell us about some of those exciting improvements and changes than the guru, the sage of Supercoach, Tom Sangster.
Mate, what an entrance. Thanks, mate. It's good to be back.
Yeah, so look, apparently it's going to be, there's going to be some exciting look and feel changes, but there's also some practical improvements to the game. Tell us about this match centre. Apparently that's pretty good.
The match centre is really good. It's your one-stop shop for everything that's happening while the game is happening. So you've got live scores in there, you've got all sorts of head-to-head information, you've got information about your opposition, you've got information about people from your league. So you can literally have your laptop open as the game's unfolding, watching on TV, and you've got all the information right there. And it updates by the minute. So you'll see the tackle on the screen, and then within the minute it'll be updated on the live scores. Okay,
but if I want to delve a bit deeper, if I want more information, I want to get the edge on my mates. I want to get the cash and the cachet over them. There's also Supercoach Gold. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, so Supercoach Gold is the new subscription service that we've got. You can still play Supercoach for free like you normally would, but there is some extras. You get access to the break-even analysis.
You got all nerdy on me there.
Yeah.
What's break-even analysis? I'm kind of lost on that one. What does that mean?
So the break-even score is the score that a player needs to get for their price to stay the same. So if you know this score, you can predict whether their price will go up or go down. Okay. So you can work out when to trade your player.
So that means you can limit the number of changes you make to get the team that you want.
Yeah, absolutely, and you limit the amount of cash you use to get those players as well.
Okay, now there's also going to be some sort of social media elements to it. Yep. Now you can play it on Facebook.
You can link your Facebook account to your Supercoach account, so you can set up Facebook leagues and actually play against your Facebook friends.
Now, one of the things that I'm really interested in is injuries and suspensions, because it's absolutely crucial. If you've got someone who goes out on a Thursday or something and they're not aware of it, it can really be costly. Are we going to have any changes there?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a new injury option where anyone who's injured or suspended will have a mark next to them, and you can click on that mark and you can see how long they're out for, why they're out, all those details.
Can I play the game on iPhone at all?
You can play the game on iPhone. There's a new iPhone app. It'll be available probably next week.
What about Psych Out? That was one of the great elements, was G'ing up people. Is that going to be back?
Psych Out has been totally revamped. It's got live messaging now, so you can really get stuck into your mates.
Okay, great. Well, once we've set up, are there any tips that you can perhaps give some of the players in terms of players to look out for?
Absolutely. The best buy this year, I think by quite a distance, is Chris Houston. He's been a bit of a Supercoach weapon in the past. He's been a $270 player in the past. He comes in at $90K this year because he had that self-imposed drug charge layoff, and he's back in Supercoach at $94K, so he's the best buy this year, I think.
Okay, we were talking earlier saying that Shane Shackleton might be a...
Yeah, Shane Shackleton, again, he starts the year really cheap because he got injured in the first round last year. He tore his hamstring off the bone, so he starts really cheap, $102K.
Another one you've mentioned to me is Nathan Feen, the St George rake. Again, is it because of the injury, that the long layoff that he had?
Well, he was such a star for the Dragons last year during the final series, so you tend to forget that he hardly played during the year at all. So because he hardly played, his price obviously came down a lot, so he starts really cheap this year at only 117, I think.
One of the big stars from last year for the Dragons, and perhaps people say it was key in them winning the title, was Jeremy Smith. He's of course gone to the Sharks. Does that mean his value comes down?
His value is really cheap to start with. I think he's $220K, which is really good. It's sort of in the same boat as Feen in that he played so well during the final series that everyone forgets that he barely actually played during the regular season. So that means his price starts really low.
And then finally, Feleti Mateo.
Yeah, well, Mateo's a little bit of a smoky pick. There's a few variables with him, like whether he plays in the forwards or in the backs. But I think if he can play in the forwards and he can get really good game time, I reckon he could join the Supercoach Elite this year, up there just below sort of Parker and Gallen, those sort of guys.
All right, thanks Tom. Well, there you have it. 5 hot tips to get cranked up. Get started on Supercoach.